We're really thrilled about Living Arts has been showing experimental artwork for like 30 years in Tulsa, and so to get to work with them is fabulous. They have great installations and exhibits here every month of the year, so we're thrilled.
Well, I noticed it's a little bit different venue than the downtown air park, but you have basically two different buildings that you're working with, right?
Right. We have Living Arts, which we're in right now, and then Liggett Studio, which is one door down. And it is very different situation than downtown air park. Momentum is usually in these kind of abandoned, vacant buildings that we are lucky to have, people let us use. But this has made our lives a lot easier working with Living Arts.
There's already walls and lights and running water and electricity.
Wow, what
it's
a
really
concept.
Exciting,
I know.
They're used to having art on the walls. So.
Yeah.
Well, give us a little background on how the idea of focusing on artists under 30 began.
Sure. Well, we noticed with OVAX programs, we do a lot of support for artists, different kinds of business skills, and artists under 30 were just not entering shows. We were seeing people after college would take this long time before they would start getting involved in the arts community, and I think a lot of it was just not knowing where to start, not feeling invited. And so we kind of called together a group about 7 years ago now. We called together a committee of about 20 young artists and just said, what do you want? We want to do an event that's going to really fire people up and get them excited about being artists here, and also to connect artists to each other. And what it's become is such a fabulous network, because besides the artists who enter the show, there's a committee of volunteers that put it together. So like we've got up here, we have 20 great young people who help put it together, and they work together and make the creative things happen to put the show on, and same in Oklahoma City. So it's like put on by volunteers, and it's also, for artists, so it's a really great combination. So what we hoped would happen was that people would get fired up and feel more excited about being an artist and feel more like they could get started showing their artwork, and we feel like that's happened.
Well, what are some of the marketing efforts that go on with the show?
Well, we do a little bit of everything, and having young artists working on the show, they always have kind of new ideas for different ways to market it, because the audience that we have is always, like, for instance, MySpace has been very popular for marketing Momentum, because a lot of our audience is on MySpace, and that's their main way of communicating online now. So we try to do some different things that will really get it out there to everyone.
Well, I think overall it just shows that the quality of the works and the innovation that's going on, not only with the artists, but the way that you have to promote it. I think it's a really exciting time. Well, one of the things that we want to do a little later is actually talk to a few artists.
Great.
And get a chance to get a little bit of background on them, a little bit about what their creative effort is like. So we're excited about that too.
There's a lot of artists here already. We have a lot of the artists are here.
Well, how are the artists identified?
They have name tags on. The only name tags that you'll see are for volunteers or artists, and some of them are both. So they'll have on a name tag and they'll say artist on it. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to visit with you later as we get a little further. I know you two are still busy because we're just getting started.
We're going to be here a long time.
Oh, we're going to be here a long time. So we're looking forward to that. So just stay tuned and we'll get to see you again.
Okay,
thank you.
Glad you're here.
30 and under, I think, is amazing because you go above the line and it's a little different view. We've grown up on different things. I'm a photographer. The digital age is kicked in, and some of the photographers learn that way. A bunch of installations today with TVs and things.
Well, I have a question for you. Since you're a photographer, tell us a little bit about your subject matter. What are we going to be able to see when we come out to the show?
Well, I like destruction, buildings that are crumbled or old things that most people would just walk by and not look at and don't think are beautiful. I like to show them in a way that makes them unique and awesome.
So how many of your works were accepted?
2.
2? Great.
Yes.
And are they in this building or in the other?
I have one in this building and one in the other. Well, we have music, which is starting right now, I believe. We have 3 bands tonight. We have interactive art, a life-size light bright that you can play with. You can draw on some paper and all kinds of fun stuff. And then, of course, amazing art. Tulsa doesn't have much like this. It's something new, art, music, and fun all in one venue. So.
Well, also, you were here last year?
Yes.
Approximately how many people showed up to that?
I think it was around 500. We're expecting 800 this year. I don't know where the number came from, but...
Yes, I've got a large oil painting that's over on this wall. It's called Ice. It's a painting of a female wearing a big coat in like an ice storm. Yeah.
Is that the, you have one worked in the show?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I noticed they have two venues. How does that work out for splitting up the artwork between the two buildings?
I think it's been great. It's really, it's the evolution of the show. It's getting bigger and better every single year. And now we've got the two galleries. We've got the street blocked off. There's just so much excitement tonight. So yeah, it's just perfect. I think it's a reflection, and it's also kind of a kick. It's like, it's kind of, it's charging people up, getting people more excited, and maybe generating a new energy. So yeah, it's all designed to cultivate the young art movement and really encourage and really, encourage them to make more work, encourage them to be more active in the art world, and to pursue a career in the arts, which can be very viable if they just really stick with it. So yeah, that's what's been really important, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. I just like really, you make a line and you respond to it, and then you just continue to evolve on the piece and just really let it kind of make itself, and just kind of improv, just go as you go, and you just keep working on it until it's where you want it to be. So yeah.
Actually, I've been doing this show. I did it in Oklahoma City last year, and it's just kind of widespread throughout the school and everything. So, and I go to UCO. So, I have been drawing and painting since I was 5 years old. It was just a passion from the get-go. So that's where it started, and I just continued on with it.
So, did you go to school for it too?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and I'm currently in school, UCO.
Oh, you are? Mm-hmm. Great. Well. First of all, you have a work here. What's the title?
There's subcutaneous and twin subrasion.
And what was some of the inspiration for that?
Well, I started out with photorealism, but I wanted to kind of branch off from that, and I also wanted to incorporate some of the installation qualities, the combination of drawing and three-dimensional. I thought that drawing is sometimes overlooked, and I really wanted to bring that out in the art world, so that's kind of where that started. Well, actually doing the drawings takes probably a good month, just for the drawing aspect. I'm pretty interested in the detail quality. As far as setting it up, it takes usually about a day to get everything set up in the way that it should go. So. It's fairly consistent. I'm really interested in the figure. I have branched off from that some with my paintings, but my drawings, that's the primary focus. And I have a lot of large-scale graphite on mylar pieces.
I saw the Momentum show several years ago, and I got involved several years ago. And I've submitted art in the Momentum Tulsa last year and in the last two Momentum Oklahoma Cities. I have one that is a digital picture frame where it has a punching bag next to it, and you hit the punching bag and it flips through pictures. I call it Fight for Tulsa. It has pictures of Tulsa, so you kind of punch the punching bag and you see different pictures of Tulsa. Yeah, and I have another installation that has a bunch of telephones around, and you can actually leave messages on them telling what's on your mind, and you can hear other people's messages and listen to what's on their mind.
Well, where do you think up these things?
They just come to me. It's kind of when I'm sitting bored.
Well, I'm real curious about one thing. As an artist, when did you realize that was going to be your career path?
Well, it's something we all strive to be. Even if we don't do it as a career, it's something that's good to be involved in. Even if you have a normal job, it's still good to, on the side, make art and give it kind of a professional hobby. Well, I had to learn how to put a accelerometer inside of it, and with a transmitter that transmits back to a computer.
Well, for those of us that don't know what an accelerometer is, describe that just for a second.
It's just a little device that registers a G-force, like the amount of gravity. So when you hit it, it registers a number relating to how hard you hit it. Okay. You had to get the whole thing inside the punching bag and make the punching bag look like it's normal. So it was real hard to get the electronics inside the punching bag and then make it look normal again and feel normal.
Well, I've seen a few people over there punching it, so how hard can they hit it?
They can hit it pretty hard, just not really, really, really hard. Okay. They can smack it pretty good, though.
Okay. And have you thought about your next project yet?
Yeah, I've got some robotic video screen installations I'm going to work on in the next few months.